Welcome to another edition of Entrepreneurs and Fuego. Did you notice my Spanish accent? How
It just
I said entrepreneurs.
Absolutely, I love it.
Right now, I'm kind of
robust.
You know what's happening is I'm channeling Ricky Ricardo right now. You know, I've got the Ricky Ricardo vibe right now.
You kind of look like him. I loved Ricky Ricardo. Lucy was one of my favorite shows.
I don't know. I saw you and then I kind of channeled Ricky Ricardo. I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. It just happens, you know.
You must have got that Lucy vibe from me, huh? I'm not blonde.
It's all about you. It's all about you, baby. Roslyn Williams.
Yes.
Life Matters.
Yes.
Tell us about you.
Well, Life Matters airs every Monday from 4 to 5. We talk about...
It's a radio show.
It's a radio show, yes, a radio show. But actually, we are preparing for our television broadcast, which I'm excited about.
Am I going to be invited?
You will be. Yes,
Can
absolutely.
I go as Ricky Ricardo? Can I have my alter ego?
No, we have to have the real deal. I want the real deal. But Life Matters Today is a radio show that's been airing now for 5 years. Airs every Monday from 4 to 5 on KXXT 1010 a.m.
Yes.
And we talk about relationships, health, fitness, finance, community, career, and faith. So it's just a myriad of different topics. Each month we have a different topic. We have guests from all over the valley. I've had many celebrities, Dr. Maya Angelou, Dr. Charles Stanley, CeCe Michaela from Girlfriends, Glenn Turman, on and on and on, you name it.
What's the toughest topic
to talk about? The toughest topic to talk about, I would say it would have to be race, religion. Those are tough topics because...
I can understand race. Is religion a tough topic to talk about because we all have different beliefs and sometimes those beliefs are very radical.
Absolutely.
That you just can't bear to tolerate other people's views?
Well, you know, I am Christian, and the radio show is a Christian radio show. However, I have people on from all different walks of life.
Would you take an atheist in your show?
Depending on the message that I'm trying to transcend to my listeners.
If the message is tolerance, then isn't it, or having people from different beliefs or non-beliefs, wouldn't that be a way to tolerate people in the different beliefs or non-beliefs?
It would, but I don't know if I necessarily would want to send the message of tolerating it. I would want to send the message of having an open understanding of how they believe, why they believe, and also people that are listening, opening themselves up and loving them in spite of what they believe in, because we're all people and we all have an opinion.
Of course.
So the message that I would like to convey to my listeners is, you know, this person has a belief. And our beliefs are all derived from somewhere, right?
Sure.
Based on our experiences. And so I would like to transcend love and also letting people know that let's be open and see why and have an understanding. Because I believe to understand someone is to love them.
Exactly. So even if I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, I'm an atheist, there's got to be something that we all have in common, right? I mean,
absolutely.
There are some basic
commonalities.
Values. There's some commonalities. And let's find what emulsifies us, what binds us together, rather than what separates us together,
absolutely.
Right? And it sounds like a very basic concept, though. Yet it's hard to put together, right? I mean, is it because we're so radical sometimes in our thinking that...
Yeah, and we're so dogmatic about what we believe in.
If you're not with me, you're
not
against
with
me.
Absolutely.
Why that?
Absolutely. And I believe that because people are, a lot of people are not open to hearing someone else's opinion and how they feel because this is what I believe and this is true for me and it should be for you too. And that's not the case for everyone. And I believe experiences in life teach you to be open-minded and embrace people from all different walks of life and to be open to what they have to say and where that belief derives from. And then we connect based on our commonalities. We all have commonalities, right?
Of course.
And that is something that connects us and binds us.
Where did you grow up?
In Maryland.
Maryland?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland.
The heart of the city.
How was your upbringing? Was it easy? Was, with silver spoon? Was it? I have a feeling that it wasn't with a silver spoon that you.
Well, actually, quite contrary to what you see in the news and the media, I did grow up in Baltimore, Maryland. My mom passed when I was 3, and my father raised me by himself. I have 12 siblings, 12 sisters.
Wait a minute. Go back. 12 sisters.
12 sisters.
My goodness gracious.
Yes, 12 sisters. And I am the youngest. So by the time my mom passed, it was just my father and I in the household. And my father was just a wonderful man, very loving. And he really taught me to be independent and responsible. He was an entrepreneur. He owned a restaurant, and he was an engineer in Baltimore city schools. So, there were times I remember when my father had a lapse between jobs, and I seen my father get out there, and he hacked. We call it hack in Maryland, because it's almost like a cab service. So I watched him give people rides to different places in order to make money during that time in the interim of his unemployment, not having employment.
Now we call it Uber.
Now we call it Uber, absolutely. We call it Uber now, right? And so my dad worked hard, and I seen the value of working hard. I mean, we would sit at the table and eat dinner together. He taught me values. He taught me about forgiveness. If he and I got into an argument or disagreement about something, the next minute he was wrapping his arms around me and telling me that he loved me. So I got a chance to see what forgiveness really meant and what love encompassed through my dad. And then, like I mentioned, the work ethic, it was great. Now, we did have tough times. People thought that your dad's rich. No, my father he wasn't rich at all. He just knew how to take 10 cents and make $1 out of it. And I often tell a story on my radio show about my father when the accountant would come to the house, or the insurance man. He would sit me down at the table with him, and he had his checkbook, and he taught me how to write checks and balance a checkbook and money. And so I learned those things from my father, which was very valuable. It was priceless.
Being the last of your sisters, or the youngest one, if you will, of the sisters, what did you do to get his attention? Because there's competition all over the place, right?
I didn't have to. Actually, let me say this. My mom had 7 children, and my dad had 5. I'm the only one that they had together. So it was a blended family.
Okay.
Yes. And so all of my sisters were out of the house by the time I was, a child, and I came on board. And so it was just he and I. And even though my sisters came around, and we were, some of us were close, but my father and I, we were just frickin' frat. We were so close to one another.
I can see.
And, ended up later on in years, he developed Alzheimer's, and I took care of him. I returned the favor.
How did you get into the business of inspiring other people? Because that is what you do.
Absolutely. And, I'm going to say it was nothing but God. I had no idea that I would be doing this. I grew up, and I was a relatively shy person. Didn't like the spotlight on me. However, I had a lot of friends. I don't know, it was kind of like an oxymoron, a shy person, but I had a lot of friends, right?
Right.
And so eventually, years and years later, I knew that I always wanted to minister to people. I knew that I always wanted to help people. I knew that I had a love for people. It wasn't until I went to undergrad, and I had to write a capstone paper. And the capstone paper had to encompass the 5 breath areas. I wrote a paper on that, and God ministered to me and said that you will minister to multitudes of people. I'm like, how am I going to do that? And so that's what the paper encompassed, and it was step by step by step. And that's when it was revealed to me that I would have a radio show. I was totally green, had no experience in broadcasting.
How did you know? Because obviously you have a phenomenal talent and you
Yes.
inspired a lot of people through your show. Was there a moment that you knew you had it? That you knew that you could do this the rest of your life?
It was the first time I went to the studio and was very nervous, and my program manager said, turn the mic on. You know, you're going to have to do your intro and your outro. And I said, I can't do this. I haven't really prepared a script for that. What am I going to say? And he said, turn the mic on. You're going to do your intro and outro. And when I turned that mic on, the moment that I did, it just came out from where it came from. Who took over? That's my alter ego took over, right? Yours is Ricky Ricardo, mine is Lucy.
Well, mine is Ricky
Lucy
Ricardo
showed
today.
up.
Who knows what tomorrow is? You know, I just don't never know.
You know, I
man.
said Lucy's in the house. Here she is. So I just, I don't know. Roslyn took a step back. Lucy showed up,
There you
and
go.
it was great. And that's how it has been for 5 years. It's been awesome.
Your toughest interview, do you remember? I mean, in describe that for me, because you must have, in all this time that you've been interviewing people, there must have been one interview that really stands out. And I'm not going to say the obvious one, but was there a very difficult
What's
interview?
the obvious one?
Dr.
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou?
Dr. Maya Angelou. I would say, I've interviewed some pretty tough people, but interviewing her, I think it was definitely a lesson for me.
It's got to be frightening.
Frightening,
I mean, this is...
She's an icon. Dr. Maya Angelou.
This is like
You
the
know,
goddess of,
absolutely.
she's an icon.
She is. And
Medal of Honor,
well,
I
she
mean, the whole
was.
thing.
She was just a wonderful person. And I remember speaking to her prior to the interview, and she and I going over everything. And so there was one particular word that was in her bio that I had a hard time enunciating. And she helped me pronounce this word, and she said, and this is what it means. And I said, okay. And from then on, I knew this woman is a teacher. She was very graceful, and it was almost like I'm gonna do this interview with you, and I want to also teach you. And it was just wonderful. I really, really enjoyed it. It was tough because I was so nervous. I was more nervous than I probably ought to have been, because I got a chance to see that she's human just like you and I, and her struggles and everything she's been through.
Yes.
But it was a wonderful interview, but it was tough. It was tough for me.
I think it was more tough for you than it was for her.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What do you do to relax, man?
Oh, my goodness.
Because you work all the time.
I enjoy relaxing. One thing I do, I love riding my bike, and I am a spa bunny. I love going to the spa. I enjoy that. And I enjoy just having time with my friends and family, planning events, cooking. I love cooking. It's writing. I enjoy writing. Those are things that I do to
What do you
relax. I do because I love self-help.
Yes.
I write a lot of books that will inspire. I'm working on. These are all books that I need to publish, but books that will help to inspire people and encourage people and help people with those issues in life that we talk about: relationships, health, fitness, finance, community, career, and faith.
People listening to this podcast,
Yes.
watching this video, there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there
Absolutely.
that are going to take one thing from you today? What is that thing? What do you want them to know?
I would love for people to really know their purpose in life, to really hone into that and to develop a true relationship with your Creator. Then and only then will you know what your purpose is, who you're serving, why you're doing it, who you are. And that is the way that you can be led by your Creator, who I call God, to show you your God-given purpose, your talent, your potential in life.
And how do you find that?
Through God. I find it through God.
Is it something that is going to come through inspiration?
It's
what do
gonna-
you do? Through hope?
You find it through God sending you people, sending you places, reading. It may be a message on television.
It may be
could
this message.
It may be this message.
Correct.
So many different ways. But being open is so important because you never know where it's going to come from.
Like this t-shirt right here, I never know where it's going to come from.
Oh.
Things just fly over here. I tell you what, I'll talk about the t-shirt here in a second. But
Okay.
you know, you inspire me. As I'm talking to you, I get this serenity
Yes.
inside of me. I'm atheist, by the way.
Okay, all right.
So, but
I
we're
love
still
you
we're
too.
still friends.
Absolutely.
But I love you as an individual, as
Yes.
a person, because you inspired me.
Thank you.
And I find inspiration in myself and strength in myself and in the people that I meet. Because people like yourself, the people that we interview here, the entrepreneurs that we have over here,
Yes.
they are inspirational. We're all on the same earth, man. We're all here
Absolutely.
for the same reason. And whatever inspires us, whatever really fuels our fire, at the end of the day, we're just another individual.
Yes.
That if we learn how to love the other individuals, then we'll be all right.
Absolutely.
And I
I
would
agree.
love, saying that, I would love for you to wear this beautiful
Oh,
t-shirt that we're going to give you
too
today.
Awesome. I love
Look at
it.
that.
I
Isn't that
love it. The
look at
office pile.
That's it.
You are awesome.
You are awesome.
Thank
you're
you,
going to have to
Francisco.
come back because, you know,
I
you really
will.
inspire. Like right now, I'm like all serene. I'm all Ricky Ricardo right now. I'm Suave Rico right now.
Ricky, I love you.
I love you, honey. Thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you.
I thank
Thank
you for
you.
coming. And
Yes.
we definitely want you to come back.
Okay.
Because I want you to inspire a ton of people out there
Absolutely.
with your message of love.
Thank you.
Yes? You're going to do that
Yes,
for us.
Absolutely. I sure will.
We're out.